video had to get pulled.
Yeah.
People had epileptic seizures.
I always like that effect, though. Like
I like to blink my eyes and see what comes up as a still photo. Like when I look at a ceiling fan or helicopter blades, and you blink real fast, and then it doesn't look like.
I might be wrong on this, but I think that opening credit sequence from Python Holy Grail they did on purpose to give people epileptic because it's that fucking llama shit with that flashing every. Yeah.
What kind of people sit in a room and go, "Wouldn't it be great if we could make people have bloody seizures?"
I've just had the naughtiest idea.
Very wow. Your British guy's way better than mine. Mine's like a bad Russell Brand impression. Kate, we're going to film the Titanic, the greatest nautical disaster of all time. Do you think you could take your clothes off as it goes down? And then she would say,
"Oh, we'll see why not.
I'll give it a go. I'm a goer." Dark Circles comes out this year.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Let's get that. You can get all of, Broken Lizard movies. And thank you again, everybody. And it's that part of the podcast again. Thank you for going to jmohr.com and clicking the Amazon link and buying whatever the hell you want. You know what? Buy Supertroopers. Buy all Supertroopers that they have in stock just so the Broken Lizard guys can shove it up Fox's ass.
Yes, if we weren't so lazy, I think there's some sort of grassroots thing that could be done. I don't know what it is.
I was going to ask another random question too. A lot of you guys, there's been a lot of projects over the years that you guys have talked about. Like there was the ancient Roman thing, right? And do you think there's possibly other mediums these things can live in? With like a lot of people are sequelizing in comic books and web series kind of shit. Do you guys ever think about anything like that?
I think we do need to figure that out. We've had little discussions. It's just like none of us stays on top of things and different media and so we have only ourselves to blame. Like we're terrible self-promoters and we're terrible about like embracing any kind of new way that a movie can be made. And I shot Dark Circles on Red Cam and it was the first time that any of us had done something that wasn't on 35mm film and the guys are just like, no, that's a big thing. That's how you make a movie, 35mm film. And you're like, I'm telling you, I did this Red Cam, and it was the coolest, easiest, best way to make a movie.
What's Red Cam?
It's just a video. It's
digital. It's that small, looks like a box. I'm sure you've been shot on it before and haven't even realized. Yeah, they go straight from a card, boom.
Yeah, probably anything that you do on TV now is just film, and there's a chip and pop that out. But so, anyways, I think we should. Like, I think we could because now I hear that like. Okay, people have their own YouTube channel and they just put content on it and they get millions of viewers and they get advertising money or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I suspect because it trickles down to us the things that people are doing like what's his name who's like the number one comedian in the world right now after Jay Mohr
Russell Peters,
Dane
Cook.
No, Louis C.K. I just spaced on his name. Like Louis C.K. now is.
I went right to box office because I'm such a whore.
But like,
oh, you mean number one as far as talent?
That's what I was saying.
No, I went right to the box office. Russell Peters, Dane Cook,
Chelsea Handler.
I think you mean Chelsea. I think you're pretty sure you mean Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, yeah.
Nice.
No, but like when you realize that there are ways now to take the system out of the system, which is, that's terrific coming from a guy who spent the last 15 years sort of getting fucked over by the system. So I think there's a way to make it work and we have to figure it out because, I know we have fans and we have ideas. We have stuff we can do. It's just we're so slow to figure out, okay, you don't have to go through the traditional system. And I wish we could do that because, if that's how people can make money, if Louis C.K. could do that. I'm not saying we could make that kind of money, but I think that's a smart way to look. If you have content and you have fans, to completely cut out the middleman is genius.
I think you have to make Great Cops the movie, and I think you have to do Podfest because you can't stay in this web of the studio system when they're jamming you up, and you got fans like look at this guy right. Matt Cohen is like. I mean, I'm like obsessed with going to see Podfest because I had forgotten that's how Beer Fest ended. Like, why can't you just write? Because you said you were lazy.
Well, I talked to Jay, and we have a treatment for Podfest, and again, it's just it's getting that idea down that like no, there's a smaller contained way to do things. We could do that on our own. I think it's what's hard is that like we're all older now. Everybody's got kids just about, and you're like, you think, all right, we make this movie, but nobody would get paid, and you'd have to like, all right, figure out how it works out on the. It sounds so shallow to say, all right, we've got to make sure we monetize all this, but it's just...
Look, no one listening to this goes to work for free. Everyone goes to work because they get a check. So for you to put in...
There's got to be a few volunteers, somebody volunteers at the...
No, I have no volunteer
at
the moratorium on volunteers because they
fuck you volunteers.
No nerds.
I don't need your money.
No volunteers. Nerds. That's why you look around. Bench press, weights. There's a nice fucking Camaro in the driveway. No goddamn nerds in here, Soter. All right.
A little bit of a nerd.
You're no nerd.
But anyway, so no, I mean, Matt, you're right. We need
write it up. You get one giant like Mark Cuban or Richard Branson to go. Oh, I fucking love it. Here's a check for $10 million, man. Like, just do it. Just do it.
Okay. I'm going to do it.
That was easy. I wanted you to read some of these because you're not the only great writer out there, my man. When I was in Vancouver at the River Rock Casino, my driver to and from the airport was a man from an older gentleman, maybe about 65, 70 years old, from Holland, named Joek. Joek. And he, on the way home to the airport, he drove me from the airport to the casino. The next morning, he drove me back to the airport. He goes, I know you do comedy. So, do you like, here's, before you look, here's words a writer and a comic never want to hear. Do you enjoy puns? Like, oh, I love puns. The lowest form of douchebaggery in the world. And here are... This is typed.
He gave it to you typed, or you took it home and typed it up?
No,
okay.
This is how he gave it to me. Okay. Single-spaced puns. So
I actually like puns. So I think
I'm going to like them now.
Will you let me scan this and put it on the More Stories Facebook page with the episode?
The problem is, so much of these are written puns. Like I could say, how does Moses make his tea? He brews it, and you wouldn't understand that the joke is Hebrew it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a pun for the reader.
So then it's an acting exercise too. I need you to act it into the mic the way it's written. Like, have you heard about, I don't know what you've heard about German sausages, but they're the worst.
That's the one I was just getting ready to read.
I think I did it right.
Yeah, jokes about German sausage are the worst.
The worst. W-U-R-S-T.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about. The Wunderlich test that everyone's talking about. The Wunderlich
that the football players take.
Can regular people take it? Could I go online and find it? Because now I'm dying to see how I would score on the Wunderlich.
Yeah, I think you'd score extraordinarily high. Because some of the questions are like, would you rather be a dog or a cat?
Well, how do you fail that test then?
I think because cat is perceived as feminine.
Or he answers like squirrel.
I'm a dog. I'm a dog. They want you to be a dog. We need more dogs.
That's why I'm dying to see what it is now that it's such a big deal because everybody's Wunderlich scores gets out there.
Well, let's hashtag. I mean, get back on Twitter, social media. These people want to reach out to you, man. These people want to give you money to do Podfest.
Okay, my Twitter.
Where would Podfest take place? It's Paul Soter.
The way that it's
Twitter,
treated right now, which I like, is that the idea was the sort of pitch for Podfest was going to be us as five guys who go. To like a Coachella kind of festival or something like that to see Willie Nelson. And we're all guys like, our age where it gets harder and harder to make time to go out and do something like this. So it's kind of the last hurrah for these guys. But they happen to sneak onto Willie's bus and he gets them stupidly high and he starts telling them that he has this great pot fest that he does and it's like legendary and it's only like done once every like 5 years. And he titillates us with this crazy story about the best pot smoking festival in the world. And then, but we're in such a stupor that we all sort of like pass out and then like wake up the next day out in the parking lot. And then it becomes a like quest to like, okay, were we really stoned or did Willie Nelson invite us to some crazy pot festival? Yeah, and he gave us
some idea of where it was.
Yeah, right? And the idea was...
Willie Nelson is in?
Oh, yeah. He and Jay are
If you can't get Willie
friends.
Nelson, who do you get?
Well, that was the thing. When we started talking about doing Podfest, you start getting calls from all sorts of people, like
really?
Snoop Dogg and
I'd love to be in it, player.
50 Cent, and people like Woody Harrelson. So that would be fun too, as you get all these people. And the idea
Woody Harrelson's wife, by the way, made entirely of hemp. All right, go ahead.
So the idea is that movie becomes about these guys then going on this quest to pursue this thing that not sure really exists or not, and the pursuit leads them to these sort of pot smoking adventures with a bunch of different funny celebrity people, and all the while they realize they've now gone AWOL on their lives and like sort of how much
in
longer.
like 6 days, they didn't realize how much time went
Exactly.
by. They were asleep for
like
2, and there's the one guy who's like, "We got to get back. This is no good," and there's the one guy that's like, "We got to keep going. We owe it to ourselves, man."
That's conflict. That's right? A conflict, right?
And then the other 3 guys in the middle are just kind of wish-wash.
Well, we figured over time, each of them kind of turns so that you finally end up with all 5 guys like, all right, fuck it, we're in. Let's go.
And the big crescendo is Jay going, "Fuck it, I'm in." And everybody just starts laughing. And somebody bites into a tennis ball because they think it's an apple.
PMS jokes aren't funny, period. I love.
Why are you reading them all in a German accent?
I'm trying to. I don't know Dutch that well. I ended up doing a little Swedish.
I want you to read it English. Like, I mean, this.
Oh, as if
I
it
want
was
you to
my
give it
stuff?
slam and salmon, like straight up. Like, this is what's going to be in Pot.
Okay, I can do that.
This could be one of the clues in Potfest. Is Willie Nelson goes, "The legend is on the back of a list of puns."
I actually like this guy's stuff a lot. Broken pencils are pointless. I love this guy. I wondered why the baseball was getting bigger. Then it hit me.
Oh my God!
This guy.
We're losing subscriptions as you read.
No. I'm going to go sign this guy. I don't sign him to what, but
Joek. He's a limo driver in Vancouver.
Be kind to your dentist. He has fillings too.
All right, let me give it a shot.
This is actually. Can I have that, or have a copy of it?
One. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I'll just give it to Cohen, and he can give it to you because I don't know how to make copies because I'm dumb. My assistant goes, "I sent it to you," and I'm like, "I can't. I don't know what you're talking about." She goes, "The printer in the guest room. It's all there." And I'll walk in. There's like fucking 40 pages of shit. And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." I want a hard copy of that script in my house. It's in your printer, asshole. All right, Cohen, what do you got?
He's reaching on this one. What do you call a dinosaur with an extensive vocabulary?
What?
A thesaurus.
Why does he get it again? Let me do one.
Round robin this shit.
I like when you went siphon. It's hard. You went right to the second page, which I respected.
I like the deep cuts. I always like the deep cuts.
Cartoon. Oh, this is a good newspaper headline that I came across, you guys. Oh, look at this. We're in Potfest right now.
Okay.
Ask me what I'm reading.
Hey, man, what are you reading over there, Jay?
Oh, it's the paper. This isn't cool.
Huh.
Cartoonist found dead in home. Details are sketchy. What do you guys want to eat? I was thinking maybe venison for dinner. Oh, dear.
Hey!
This might be the worst fucking idea.
But I think
Maybe
the problem is
people are
when you try to convey them into a sort of a normal vernacular, I think they don't work nearly as well as if you deliver them like Yakov Smirnoff. Like,
what a country.
Velcro, what a ripoff!
In my country, Velcro sticks to you.
It sticks to you.
He came to my show at Foxwoods Casino last year.
Really?
It was the weirdest. Foxwoods Casino. Do you know where it is?
Yeah.
It's in the fucking. This for the listeners.
Uckensville, Connecticut.
Yeah, like I didn't know Connecticut had a butt fuck, but it's in butt fuck Connecticut. It's in the middle of the woods of Connecticut, like last house on the left, woods. And you drive from Manhattan. You go, it's 2.5 hours. You go, it can't be because it's 3.5 hours to Boston. No, it's fucking 2.5 hours into the woods. And all of a sudden, I said that like Martin Short is Jimmy into the woods. Jimmy, I'm here doing a podcast with
the casino. It's a casino.
Paul Savino. What's it like being Paul Savino?
Now.
Paul Soter crossing and uncrossing his legs, a la Jimmy Glick. So I get up there, and I'm about to go on stage, and it's this great big theater. It's beautiful. It's great. And the Chowds come down from Boston, and some people come up from Manhattan. And all of a sudden they go, "Hey, Yakov Smirnoff is here. He wants to say hi to you." And I'm like, "Oh, is he playing?" And then I realize, no, there's no like fucking theater across the hall. So I have no idea what he's doing there. And he's like, "Such a good show." I haven't gone on yet.
I was playing Pai Gow Poker and heard you were here.
Keep doing Yakov Smirnoff, please. Hey, nice to meet you, Yakov.
In Russia, you is nice to meet me. Okay, we get
He
it.
literally said, Sasha, good show. Great job. And they go, ladies and gentlemen. And I fucking walk out on stage like he mind fucked me.
Wow.
And then I come back on stage and he's got like the Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart hair now.
Okay.
Like the old wrestling manager. Like he's got like this weird
Feathered
mullet rocking.
kinda,
He kind of looks great. Like in Branson, Missouri, he's the fucking coolest guy in town.